Welcome to the Purpose Chasers podcast, where those who refuse to let odds or naysayers stand in their way come to chase and catch their true calling. I'm your host, Mark Crandall. In each episode, we shine a spotlight on artists and musicians who dare to dream bigger. You'll hear the real-world tactical moves these Purpose Chasers have taken to carve out their legacies, and I'll break down the marketing strategies you can swipe and implement today. Let's dive in and start chasing our purpose. Don't forget to leave a follow on Spotify or wherever you stream from. Let's dive into this episode. Welcome back, Purpose Chasers, to this episode of the Purpose Chasers podcast. I'm pretty pumped, and I had to start the interview because Ann and I were talking, and Jennifer, a member of our community, introduced me to Ann, and we overshot the allotted time that both of us had on our calendar as we just started rabbit holing in all kinds of topics. And I just know that this interview that I'm about to do with this woman is going to be much more than an interview. And I had to get going because I have a hard stop at 1:00 my time, which is in 48 minutes. And I wanted to jam pack this episode with all I could. And will you pronounce your last name for the audience? Because I'm going to screw it up.
My last name is pronounced Bolyeu, and it means beautiful place in English.
And it means beautiful place in English.
Yes.
There we go. There you have it, Purpose Chasers. I would have absolutely screwed up the pronunciation of her last name. So also streaming this interview, the video, live inside of the Purpose Chasers community group on Facebook, as I feel like we're going to get into some really, really cool stuff on this. So Ann is an expert, if you will, on finances and humans' relationships with finances and money. And I mean, what a timely interview we're doing right now with all that's going on in the world. And, you know, businesses are collapsing and people are losing their minds. And I've had, you know, a couple business interactions over the last couple weeks that have left me with a sour taste in my mouth, which is just people are going there without even, I think, being aware of it. And they're going into scarcity mode. And I can't speak for you, but I know for myself, when I go into scarcity mode, I start to act in ways that don't align with my core values. So let's get into it. There's a couple different directions that I want to go with this, but let's see what the universe has in store for this interview. So, Ann, how did you get started with what you're doing now in the world?
How did I get started? Oh my goodness. I'm the poster child of not what to do. I mean, I started out like many people. I grew up, one word to describe my childhood is terrifying. I was terrified. And to conquer that terrifying thing, I went inside my head. And I thought, if I can't beat them, I'm going to overpower them all. And I'm going to become so smart. I have more diplomas than a performing monkey on crack. And not realizing that I was fully disconnected. I did not know what love was, how to love, how to be loved. And many people say, well, I know that, but how do we know for certain? And when I ask myself that question, how do I know for certain that I am being loving, that I am being compassionate? I realized I did not know what compassion was. I did not know what being loving was. And this is a feeling universe. We make decisions emotionally first. And if we refuse to feel our feelings and emotions, then we're not fully living, and we're creating more of that havoc thing that we're seeing right now. So when I realized that, that's where I started shifting into purpose.
So I don't know. Do we want to dive into your past, or do we want to just acknowledge the fact that you and I are like brother and sister? So this woman came from shit, and I knew that as soon as I got on the first call with her. I was like, "Ooh, I like this lady. I like her." And I generally only like people that come from shit. Let's dive into your past a little. Like
Yeah.
what would, because there's a lot of people in the community right now that have hindrances around their past, meaning they've created stories about themselves as a result of situations they have no control over. So I'd like to dive into that a little bit and then jump into the meat of this.
Okay. When I said that my past was terrifying, I say it's like anything you can imagine, anything, anything horrendous, stuff that I don't even have to see movies. I don't watch scary movies. I mean, the monsters, they did not live under my bed or in my closet. They were in real life. When I was 8, 9 years old, I used to roam the forest. There was a lot of forests. I lived on farmland. And I would walk in the forest, unafraid to be lost and unafraid to be eaten by coyotes and bears. I was less scared of the potential coyotes than the people in my own family and the neighborhood. I mean, at the age of 6.5 years old, I was grabbed by a bunch of male teenagers. There was 5 of them. And they had a row of metallic chairs. And I was like, there's a show? What's going on? And I completely blacked out. But what I do remember, when I started remembering, I was all naked and I was running down to my parents' house, naked, with all my clothes, and bawling, crying. And you know what I did when I reached the corner of the house? And that will summarize my childhood. I wiped my tears. And I started yelling at myself, stop crying. There's no point crying. Stop it. And I wiped my tears. And I took a breath and I walked inside the house. Because I knew that if I spoke up, it would be my fault. I had attracted that. There was something wrong with me. It was all, and that was just like one thing. One thing. My father was what I call a sociopath. He lived to inflict pain. My mother was psychotic. My whole childhood, she believed she was pregnant with the child of Jesus Christ. So when people tell me like they have sibling rivalry, I start laughing. I said, I competed with the ghost children of God. So to overcome that, I thought I would be smart, intellectually smart. And that's how I got lost. It was diplomas after diplomas, but I had a hole in my heart that no amount of money could ever fill, no amount of people. But I kept looking in the eyes of other people. Tell me who to be. Tell me what do I need to do for you to love me. But when we say that, the underlying, it's a scarcity mindset. That means we're so full of self-loathing. And I had to accept that I was full of self-loathing so I could come back home and fill that emotional hole within. So I've done that journey. I can talk about my past. I can go in and out. I can cry. I can dip into it and come back up because it's fuel, because that shit's got to stop. So that's just in a nutshell.
And that concludes this episode of the So it's you. I mean, you said something that's like really, it's present for me right now. So I just created this video series, which will actually already be out at the time of the airing of this recording. And it's called The 3 Phases of Human Transformation, How Most People Get Trapped in Phase 2. And phase 2 of human transformation is attending events, hiring coaches, going to masterminds, buying courses, reading books. And there's this consumption aspect that I did the same thing. I mean, I have a master's degree, I have 8 letters behind my name, blah, 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 and more and more. And I started thinking about going to get my doctorate degree, and so many people get caught in that and stay trapped in that. And although they believe that they're truly transforming, they're just trying to justify their self-loathing. They're trying to create a level of like forgiveness and or acceptance, right? So it's like this inadequacy, this hole of inadequacy that we're just seeking to fill behind the delusion that we're transforming. I'm very grateful that you got out of it, and I'm also grateful that I got out of it. And we're going to fast track and jump right into it, because I want to talk about money, and I want to talk about how you've built your reputation as a coach and all of the things that you're doing. So I preach, if you will, I hate that term, but I talk obsessively about how the only way to truly transform as a human is to take action to disprove your mind.
Correct.
And you can think, that you're transforming, but you're not. The only way to disprove the limiting beliefs that you have to overcome a scarcity mindset is through action against your thoughts, right? And I have this saying that I say all the time, and that is, a dream without a plan is nothing more than a wish, right? Or a wish without a plan is nothing more than a dream.
Yeah.
So that's why I have this belief system that I hate manifestations, right? Because people literally believe that they're going to sit in a chair and get quiet, and I want to be a million.
I call them the kumbaya people.
Yeah. I want to be a millionaire. Well, awesome. Like, what actions are you going to fulfill to create that manifestation, right? So what was when you realized that you were doing nothing more than trying to gain a self-acceptance through the chase of things? Obviously, I know it cost you a lot of time and a lot of money, because I've been on that journey myself. So you joined shit, and you bought courses, and you got the books, and I'm going to be this certified coach, and I'm going to get this credential, and I'm going to train under this person. At what point did you realize that it was time to just start taking action?
It was the point that I understood what compassion is. Most people don't understand compassion. Compassion has 2 ingredients. The first one is empathy. It's feeling another's pain, including our own. It's feeling another, and people are full of empathy. The kumbaya people, it's like, I want this, I'm feeling this. Oh, I can make so much fun. and because I meet them every day. I want that money. Show me. Compassion is showing. Compassion, it's the second part of compassion. The second main ingredient is taking an empowering action to alleviate that pain. So compassion is in the moment. That's why I love compassion. That's why it's at the core of financial emotional intelligence. Because it's like you said earlier, we can wish to want that $1 million. What have you done for it? What action? And I'm not talking about the books, and I'm not talking about this. It's like, what action that lit a fire under your ass and kept it lit, so that you keep running towards the direction of what you really want to experience? Because it's the accumulation of actions that we take towards that goal that will make that manifest it. We must be before we have. And most people don't get that. And I certainly did not back then. I accumulated the library, I looked at all the self-development book, but I didn't know what compassion is. I thought that I could love my children, that I could love a life partner, that I could love everybody else more than me. That's self-loathing. There's one vessel, it's us. The depth of that vessel goes to the depth of the relationship we have with ourselves first, because that's what determines the quality of the relationship we have with others. When I started understanding all that, and that compassion was at the core of everything, holy cow, my life just changed. It was like, get out of my way. I have actions to take, and I became action driven. And my whole life exploded in magnificent ways.
Yeah, there's a few people right now that are launching or seeking to launch coaching practices inside of the community, inside of my community, which is, I tell them, each and every one that asks me, like, I can't teach you how to coach. I can teach you the structures that I use, but I can't teach you intuition. Like, I can't. It's not something that can be taught. And I tell people this over and over. Either you have it or you don't. And, you know, a lot of what comes up is they don't know how to sell because they're not truly convinced that they can provide, right? So when you launched you got into action and you started taking the actions, can you just walk? I feel like this is going to be super beneficial, and I think you're somebody who can talk about it in an authentic way. Can you walk through the stages of like setting your price and your worth? Because we were just having a conversation about it, and what I tell I was going to say my clients, but my people, my purpose chasers, is there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
You can't drop a price and say, oh, I get $5,000 a month and you're going to get 3 sessions with me. If you don't believe that you're going to provide that individual with that value, and the levels to this shit comes from proving to yourself through producing it. Can you just walk us through what the stages of your price increase and what the price that you started at was and how you've increased? Because I mean, you just shared you're getting 5 digits when you get on stage, and there's levels to that as well.
I talked about compassion a moment ago. When we feel our pain and when we take our action on it, we are claiming and owning our self-worth. So our self-worth, that's the inner value that we claim and we express into the world. Our self-worth is expressed in the price that we charge. My goal with my clients is I deliver 10 times the value. When I get on the call, 10 times the value. That's the mindset you want to say. It's like I come from that place. When I started out as a coach, and of course I knew nothing. I thought I knew it all. And I was like, oh, I'll charge $100 an hour. That's good. It was $100. And I had clients and everything, but the clientele that I was attracting, they were interested. They were not committed. I wasn't committed. I hadn't done the work. And so that's also that resonance. We attract where we're at. And so I was like, okay, when I started doing the work, then it became $150 an hour. And you would say, why? You've done, like, was doing a lot of mentoring with my mentor. I was starting weekly, and I couldn't. People were like, you're so cheap. Why? And I was vulnerable because I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold my own value. So that's what I can hold. Then it became $200 an hour. Then it became $250 an hour. And it became like that. It kept increasing. Speaking was the same thing. My first paid speaking gig, it was $1,500. And I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, I've never been paid for a gig and now I'm paid $1,500. This is awesome. Then it became $3,000 because I could hold more. Then it became $5,000 for a keynote for an hour. Then it became $6,500. Then it became $10K. And it's about the self-worth, the value that we can own and express. If I were to ask people, would you shortchange yourself? They would probably say, fuck no. No. But yet they go out there and they discount their prices, they discount their services. They think they're going to attract more clients. It's like the volume, right? If it's a cheaper price, I'll attract greater quantity. But what's the quality of these people? Most of my clients, they've been with me 3 to 5 years. They coach weekly. That's the type of clients I want to work with.
Yeah, and you said something that I want to dive into a little more. And what you're speaking about, I truly understand because I've gone through it. And, you know, what I share with individuals that, you know, want to do, you know, they want to have, like, there's two people watching right now. Both of them are seeking to grow coaching practices, and they're starting out their prices. And, you know, I've explained to them there's levels to it. And some of the level to it is, for one, you need to continue to learn. If you want to climb the ranks, you need to continue to learn so you can provide more value. And so, like you said, when I get on a call, I guarantee 10x return, right? So, you know, there's a man in the community right now, I'm not going to out him, but he hadn't closed his first coaching client. He's been a therapist for years. He wanted to get away from that and start coaching. And he couldn't close his first client. And he joined my academy and closed his first client for the price of my academy 2 weeks into the academy. Granted, I gave him access to a sales, you know, how to close somebody without ever selling them course that I created, which I haven't even sold, which really doesn't make any sense, that he went through, right? And then, you know, I just had a call with him a little bit ago before I got on with you. And what I talked to him about was, okay, you're going to start at this price. And as people go through and they pay $1,500 for the 8 weeks, as you start to see what they're getting from the work that you're providing them, that's when the compassion comes in. That's when you start to level up what you're talking about. So I just wanted to explain that. Once you see, oh my gosh, 2 weeks in, a client just returned his investment into the academy. Clearly, the academy could be worth more than what I'm charging based off the results of what the clients are getting. And so I just wanted to kind of dumb it down a little for the purpose chasers that are listening so they could get an understanding. So it's funny that you went through the levels of your speaking, because right now I'm in negotiations and I've raised my rates. I'm at 6,500, and it's funny because I started at 1,500. And then
told you we understand each other.
Yeah. And my second was 3,000. And then I got a 5,000. And then it was like, okay, 6,500. And, you know, my coach, Anthony, who I need to connect you with, or Justin says, what's up, by the way. I'll give Justin a shout out on the podcast.
Hey, watching. Justin, my brother from another mother.
So he said to me, he gave me a little trick, and he said, hey, Mark, like all venues have their budget.
Yeah.
He's like, but they have other budgets.
Yes.
That they don't disclose to you. So now I'm in talks with a woman who's like, well, you know, the budget is $5,000. Could you speak for that? And I was like, well, do you have a workshop budget? I also facilitate workshops. And then she's like, no, we don't have a workshop. Well, do you have a book budget? Because I'm also willing to sell you bulk amount of books. Right. And he taught me these tricks, and I'm implementing them. Why? Because I know the value of my time. Even if it's a one-day event, you have the time in the airport, you have the preparation that goes into it, you have all of the money that I've invested and all the time that I've invested to hone my keynotes in, right? Like, it all comes to back to compassion for self, and really recognizing my self-worth and the value that's going to be provided to that audience and the ripple effect from that. And the thing to keep in mind, let's talk about this. people want to low. I really like this woman. If you're not watching the video, you need to watch the video. I just freaking like her a lot. So the thing you need to keep in mind is you're being booked or you're being hired, whether you're speaking or you're coaching, you're being booked or hired because that individual is seeking to get a return on their investment. So even if it's an event, they're trying to make money and off recognition or whatever it is for you to come in. And so for the youth that I'm going to speak to and the staff that I'm going to speak to, they're going to talk about this event and it's going to make them look better. You need to keep that in mind as you're doing this. And when are you going to raise your prices?
When am I going to raise my prices? That's a good question, actually.
She squirmed. Good.
No, you know why I squirmed? Because when I talked to you earlier about that dude yesterday.
$25 an hour.
Somebody asked me my rate and lured me in saying, we love your rate. But then when I got in front of them, just to give the audience context, they were like, we're going to offer you $25 an hour to do. And I was like, a few F words came through my mind. I stopped. I thought I heard wrong. And they were, and then were like, I said, repeat that again, because I heard nothing else after that price. And he mentioned it again, and he kept a straight face. And I was just like, I earned more money in high school, when I got out of high school than that. So that was the squirming, because I was remembering the dude from yesterday. When am I going to raise my prices? They are getting raised. I am coming out with, I've been working on it for a long time. It's a coaching program. It's called The Money Tree, How to Grow Money and Enjoy It. And it's a debunk. It's like a 12-week course. It's debunking all the money beliefs, how the feedback loop works, and how to truly grow money and enjoy it. And that course alone, I'm doubling the prices. It's because the value is in it. I see the value. I mean, when you look at your program and you, at first, the ego mind goes, oh, that's not good enough. It's not perfect enough. And then I stopped and I looked at it and I was doing the exercise. I was walking myself through the exercise. And then this is good. This is really good. And the goosebumps come, then I'm feeling it. I'm feeling my value. Then it's easy to say, this is what it's worth. And the people who see the value in it, they will buy into it. They will invest in themselves. Those who don't, they're not my clients. They're not ready yet. Like I tell people, you say you want money, but you're smart. If saying something was enough, like reading that book and that stuff, you'd already have all the money you want. So if you don't have it, it's because there's a blockage. And compassion removes that blockage because it allows money to flow.
Can we go into that real quick? I want to get your insight on this. And I think it's really, really timely with what's going on with the world. And, most of us are locked inside of our houses, and some people
are awesome.
I love it. I mean, my wife actually joked. She was on the phone with somebody when the lockdown first started, and she was like, how's the person she was on the call with was like, how's Mark taking it? She's like, his life hasn't changed other than the fact that he's working more. Because that's the thing. You lock me in my house, you're giving me permission to continue to create, which is what I love to do. Being out in the world broke up my day and forced me off my laptop. Now my wife has it's like herding sheep to get me off my laptop. So what I've experienced, I haven't seen it a lot this week, but like last week and the week before, everyone wants to do an online summit and everyone's launching a coaching program and everyone's starting a Facebook group and everyone it's the scarcity kicked in, right? It's like people are losing their jobs. Businesses are closing. Face-to-face services are not happening. I was already online, so my business has actually increased. The digital marketing side has really increased right now. But like, what insights would you have for individuals that are now thinking about, going online or starting a coaching program or
Okay.
building a course out?
It's a great question. I would say, what is the feeling reason behind it? Most people, it's fear. And that's terrible, terrible idea. And here's why. Because most people don't understand the mental hamster wheel, the way we make decisions. I said earlier, we make decisions emotionally. It's like when I say to people, do you rationally welcome $1 million in your bank account right now? And they go, let's say the people who want to create that course or that program, they will go, yeah, hell yeah, yeah. And they go all gung ho. I say, okay, imagine you're walking in the desert. There's nobody around you. You're all alone. It's been a couple of days. All of a sudden, you find a black duffel bag in front of you. You open it and you see there's $1 million in unmarked bill. What emotion came up for you? If you keep thinking that thought, with that, looking at that money, with that emotion, that will generate a feeling. What's that feeling? And that feeling, the ego validated it by dipping into the pool of beliefs and memories associated with that dominant feeling. So for people, for example, who want to, I did that exercise with a client who was tired. They wanted that $1 million in their bank account, but they didn't have it. And I said, do you love money? Hell yeah. Do you want money? Oh yeah. Okay. So I did the exercise. When they found the duffel bag, they got afraid. I said, when they kept seeing the money with that fear, what was the feeling? Anxiety. I said, something flashed in your mind. What was it? Movies, mafia. So I said to the client, I said, for you to welcome $1 million in your bank account, either you turned into a mafia gangster, and that's how you got the money, but most of the time you will not have it because your main emotion is anxiety. And they were like, but I want the money. Doesn't matter, you want it. We make decisions emotionally first because the ego validates the feelings and emotions. So for all the people out there who are giving in to the fear, they're creating more fear because they keep validating themselves. So they're creating a product or launching a product that is dipped in fear. And that is never a good business model. Because it's
it didn't work. It's funny that you bring this up because the first time that I went to launch, this was 2 years ago. I went to launch the Purpose Chasers Academy, and I was doing quite a bit of one-on-one coaching. When little man, my son, was born, I had 18 one-on-one clients, and it was too much. It was from a place of scarcity. I had probably 9 of them that I could have fired. That they just weren't fun to work with. You know, they wanted it, but they weren't committed, right? Like those clients that you referenced. And I launched the academy, and the goal was money. And the goal was, I was going to build this $1 million funnel, and it was going to be amazing. And I'd been studying sales funnels and and nothing happened with it. And so I took, right when little man came, I got rid of all my one-on-one clients. I say got rid of them. I terminated and moved on. I kept a couple of them that were fun. And I stepped away from it. And then I launched into a couple other ventures, the digital marketing company and a couple other things that I'm doing that created the stream of revenue for me. And then when I relaunched the Purpose Chasers Academy, it was from my heart. It wasn't from money. It wasn't, and I talk about it, and I think, people that are inside my community, they don't really understand because they haven't experienced it. Like, I do the academy for fun, but I do it so that it can be self-supporting, because I want Purpose Chasers to be its own self-supporting machine. So there is a cost to it. And if you don't put money up, you're not going to truly value and be committed to what you're doing. And there's an exchange that takes place. But I think it's funny, the inquiries that I've received, for coaching or for the academy since creating this other stream of income, and because my energy is pure, my podcast episodes are more pure and more content driven, and like, I'm excited. And it's kind of like when I jump over into my community, I'm giving for free and for fun, and anyone that wants to go further, the opportunity is there. And it's just this real different energy.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, for one, we need to get you back on once this course drops and see how we can collaborate in that way, because I'm excited. I just want to know you.
Thank
just
you.
really
Likewise.
do. I'm so grateful that Jennifer introduced us, because I just want to know you further. So can you give some simple tactics for the Purpose Chasers audience? So from a money standpoint, with what's in the world, this is something that I've dropped a few different podcast episodes about, and I've talked in the community about. It's like something that I've stated. The episode that I just released got more downloads than any other episode, and it was COVID-19. What opportunities are you not seeing? And it's because the world shifted very quickly to focus on everything negative and to become very scared. And then I took a step back and said, okay, what opportunities are present right now?
Yeah.
Like, what am I not seeing? And my message changed a little bit, and I produced some new content. What tangible steps could you give the Purpose Chasers community to shift their relationship to money and get more of it?
Money does not change who we are. Money accentuates what we are. It's not that the world spun on its axis and became negative. It just, the ugly side, they cannot hide it anymore. The people who build their business with what I call the perfect veneer, it's collapsing right now because they didn't do the work, and it's showing because they can't address COVID-19. But the people who've done the work, who are compassionate, they can address it. Their life doesn't change that way. The business keeps going. So a couple of things that I would say: pay your bills on time. Pay your bills right away. I've heard so many people in threads, and I read the threads, and they're like, I'm going to defer payment, I'm going to wait. But that energy, that fear, that anxiety, that worry, it's like dropping poison in limpid water, in crystal water. It's hurting them more than they realize. Pay your bills on time, right away. Don't wait, right away. Write the check, pay it, and trust. Trust that the money is the value, the self-worth. Trust that the money will come. That's the game, that's the self-worth. We must be it before we have it. The second thing, and I did this for a long time to put my ego in place, take a piece of paper and write on it this sentence: I am choosing to feel this way. So when you make money, go stand in front of it. And when you go, yay, this is so great, I'm choosing to feel this way. And when you feel that somebody did you wrong, whatever it is, that people didn't pay, that you're losing money, go stand in front of it. You're choosing to feel this way. And at some point, you're going to realize, like I did, we are the creators of our reality. And we create our reality by feeling into it. Our feelings are written all over our decisions. To me, it's so freeing. There's nowhere to hide. Isn't it wonderful?
It's amazing. And I've had so many insights, and I could literally talk about this for the rest of the day with you. I probably couldn't do it with most other people, but with you, I could talk about this for the rest of the day. It's funny because like all those people that were out there, like create your laptop lifestyle and be an online influencer. I haven't seen any of those people. Why? Because they didn't have the infrastructure in place. Like they didn't. People are scrambling right now. And there's something that I said last week that kind of went over like a fart in church. And it was, I did a post and I said, be careful of hiring individuals that want to show you how to bring their business online, bring your business online, and they're pushing that down your throat, ... because they haven't built their business online. People that have built their business online don't need to be driving down your throat how to build your business online. They've already done it.
Yeah.
Like I can't speak for everyone. My business is built online. I'm pretty full up right now.
Yeah. I call it, it's like, you know what I call it? It's drop the mic. The people who are taking actions, like the compassionate people or like seeing the opportunity, we drop the mic and we're like, fuck the preaching. We're just doing. We know how this works. But the people who are holding the mic and saying like, hire me. I see it every week. People who send me on LinkedIn, like I have over like 11,000 followers, and they send me messages. And I can give you that 7-digit funnel business. And they go on and on and on. You know what's missing?
The middle finger emoji?
No, no. It's very simple. I usually answer one line. It would be nice to ask me how I am. How'd you build that funnel? By shoving it down people's throat? That's not how I do business.
Yeah, it's people, and you're seeing those individuals go away. And Justin and I have actually been talking about this inside the mastermind a lot. It's in a time like right now, like everyone's hitting me up to come on the podcast. And like, I just got an inquiry this morning and it was just very untactful. Like, you don't give a shit about me. Like behind my business and behind everything that I'm doing, like I really do care.
I believe you do. That's
right?
why I like you.
Yeah, but like so many people don't, and they don't understand. Like the key to get on the podcast is to build a relationship with me.
No. So caring. So I understood that in the shitter. I am a platinum member of the shitter. Okay. Because in the shitter, I got so many insights. And it was my own shitter, by the way. And I used to be those people. You don't care about me. But their definition of caring, based on what I understood of myself in the past, it was if you do what I want you to do, if you become what I want you to become, then you care. That's fucked up. No. Caring, it's about owning and expressing value. That's the best caring in the world. That's being loving. That's being compassionate. What's going on? What's going on? Your face changed.
It's so good and such a timely conversation for what's going on in the world. And I just really want to know you further on this path. There's not, I talked to Justin about this a lot. Like there's not a lot of heart-centered entrepreneurs. And so when I find one that I align with, I just want to keep them close and bring them value and just keep, so that's what I just want to
Thank you.
I just want to pinch your cheek. And
it was a journey. It was a journey. I was one of the most uncompassionate people I knew. And that journey, that self-love and that self-worth, we all go through it. And to hear somebody like validate, It's not that I need the validation. I validate myself, but it's cool. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
you're
an epic human. And I mean, one thing that I want to state is, like, you know, with the launch of season 2 of the Purpose Chasers and like folding it all up, and I didn't throw it away. I was just like, it's just not now. My motives are crossed. Like, this isn't what I intended. I've become so selective of the individuals that I bring on the podcast. And it's because I do care, and I lost sight of the caring, right? Yeah. And something that I share over and over again is if you want to make money, bring value. The more value you bring, the more you pour onto the world, the more you're going to have in your bank. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I want to ask you this question. I'm bringing it back from season 1. If you could leave one message with the world or with my Purpose Chasers, what would it be?
Put that piece of paper on the wall. Go in front of it 50 times a day, if necessary. I am choosing to feel this way. That's the path to self-realization.
And thank you so much. I will be in touch with you. And I went live in the Facebook community at the Purpose Chasers, because I wanted to give them some extra value today, just because I felt like this was going to be such a timely conversation. Probably going to reach back out to you to get you inside the Facebook community, maybe to do a Q&A and or share insights from your course. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm just so grateful for you.
Thank you very much. And I'm open to do a Q&A with you. We can do it and come at it both ends. And because we're both about delivering value. So thank you for having me on your show. I feel honored.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap on this episode of the Purpose Chasers podcast. If you're ready to take action, don't wait. Head over to thepurposechasers.com to access notes, resources, and a host of other tools to keep you moving forward. And if you want to supercharge your digital presence, visit scaletosaleconsulting.com to partner up with my team and amplify your impact. Let's turn your purpose into your biggest asset. Until next time, keep chasing, keep creating. Your purpose awaits.